What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new commentary video. I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that you had a wonderful holiday. I had a pretty good holiday, just hung out with some family, all that great stuff. But as always, this video is sponsored by W Energy. You can get 10% off of anything on their website by using code Sigma934 or using the link found in our description. Also, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It would help out a ton. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna hop right into this. So normally what this show is about is that I give a lot of mental health and life advice. And today is going to be no different, but today we're actually going to be taking a look at 3 questions that I've had kind of sitting in the back here for a while, because I really don't like talking about relationship advice on this show. I just kind of feel like that's not what I'm good at, and that's not what I want this show to be. But I've had these 3 here for a while, and I felt like we should get to them, so sit back, enjoy, we're in it for the long haul today. Anyway, so let's get into this first question. I've been dating a girl now for about 6 months. She's really great and awesome, except there seems to be one issue. She's really big into religion. So big, in fact, that she won't do anything beyond kissing me. I don't know what to do. I'm currently 17, and you know how it is when you're 17. Yeah, I do. Anyways, just curious what you thought about this. Should I continue to date her, or do I need to end things? So I don't know if everybody's going to like my answer to this one, but I kind of think that you should think about ending it. And the reason why I'm going to say this is that if you were having conversations with her and she's strictly, I'm saving myself for marriage, or, you know, whatever it may be, I think you need to ask yourself this: am I willing to wait until marriage? And if the answer is no, or I don't want to, or that's not what I want in my relationship, then yes, I think that you should end things. If you're fine with waiting, then stick it out. I think that you got yourself a great girl here. Clearly, she has some good morals, right? But I do understand what you're saying, is that if it's one of those things where you think, hey, I don't think that this is for me, that's totally fine. You know, I think that you're already seeing this after 6 months. I mean, you're only 17. How long are you going to wait? Are you planning on getting married right at 18? You're probably not. I wouldn't suggest it. That's my opinion. So the thing is for me, is that personally, yes, I would maybe recommend ending it. Because here's the thing that I'm going to be honest with you in saying. I was 17 once too. And I kind of get what you're saying here. And that's sort of my opinion. It's like, you don't need to be an awful person to this wonderful girl. You don't need to be awful to the people that you may date in the future. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I do think that maybe if you want sex to be a big part of your relationship, then yeah, maybe you should sort of take a step back and think about that a little bit. Do I want that to be a big part of my relationship, or am I fine with saving that for now? If you're fine with saving it, then great, dude. I'm glad that you found a great girl that also matches your morals. But I also think that that is something to keep in mind too, is that if you're already having these thoughts 6 months in, what are you going to think 8 months from now? Like, I think that it is something to just sort of sit back and think about a little bit. You know, I'm not saying make this decision now or tomorrow. Just think about it for a little bit and decide for yourself. Is this really what I want in a relationship, or am I not okay with that? Am I not okay with being abstinent for the foreseeable future? This is the other thing too, is that you're about to enter into those years of your life where I think that it's a great time not to experiment, but necessarily, like, it's a good time to sort of just figure out who you are as a person. I mentioned that a lot, like sort of this era where you're starting out college, you know, those 4 years of college. I sort of have this opinion, maybe you don't need to settle down right away. That's sort of an opinion that I have. I'm not saying go fuck everything. That's not my opinion. I don't want to get that misconstrued. But what I do think is that I don't want you to, like, just settle in with the first girl that you meet, and I don't necessarily want you to just, like, make that mistake, because you're locking in that decision for a long time, and that's my opinion, is that I think that just take some time to reflect, because I've mentioned it a lot before, but you're still 17. You're not even considered a legal adult yet, and you're not really an adult when you turn 18 either. You're gonna spend some time sort of reflecting and changing a lot as a person, as a man, while you're going through university or whatever you're doing after high school. You're gonna spend a lot of time changing, and I don't know if you want to necessarily lock yourself down now when you both change throughout school and stuff like that, and you may not be compatible, and you sort of wasted that time. So I would just think about that a little bit. Don't make a decision today or anything like that, but just think about that a little bit. That's my advice today. All right, so our next question here. I feel really depressed. I haven't been in a relationship for over a year now, and I just feel like my life is a mess. Where should I start? What do you suggest, and how do I get myself out there? That is a great question. Here's the thing, man. I've been through a lot of spouts of depression. I have been through a lot of hard times. I don't talk about it a ton, but when I was a freshman in college was a pretty hard time for me. You know, I moved states. I do not go to school in state. And so for me, it was a big transition. It was a big sort of like experience that was a big change. And when I got here, things felt great. And then a few weeks passed by and I was sort of feeling depressed. And I had a roommate that sort of made me feel like shit. He was somebody that was pretty fit. I never really have been, and I was trying to get in shape then, and he sort of like kind of pushed me that, but he wasn't doing it in a positive way. And so it really negatively impacted me. It made me feel depressed. My life was really fucking falling apart. By that point, I was like, I haven't been in a relationship since I was like a junior in high school, and I was just stressing out, and I wasn't having a good time. So for me, I was just really, really fucking down on myself and down on life. And the thing is that I think that people do here, and you did it in yours too, is that you're looking at the end goal. Your end goal is that, you want a relationship. The thing that I always tell people and that I always want to make clear is that you should not be in a relationship until you feel that you are ready and that you are the person that you want to be. I always feel like so many people that I know are so ready to jump into a relationship when clearly mentally or physically that's not where they're at. And it sounds like you're not there, mate. And I'm not trying to be mean, but you did mention that your life kind of feels that you're falling apart. And so I would really focus on your life and you personally before we start looking at relationships. So what I would recommend, and I've said this holy shit over a year ago, but the first step that I always recommend people take is make your bed. That is the first step to getting your life back in order. Tomorrow morning, get up and make your bed. And while the bed seems so minimal and means nothing in the grand scheme of things, it's going to start helping getting the ball rolling. And that's what I want you to do first. Before you do anything else, you need to make your bed. And then after that, you need to start writing down goals. I write down goals weekly. And so what you want to do is you want to write down some simple goals. You want to say the first week is going to be pretty simple stuff. Stuff that you may be like, I've done this a million times, or stuff that you've like, I've done this when I was a child. That's sort of the point. I want you to get back into the routine of things. Is the first thing that you are going to want to write down is clean your room. Or if your room is already clean, reorganize your room or, refurnish your room or whatever you want to make it be. That is going to be the first step of resetting. Once you go through the first step, we can start talking about those more complex things. And after you start working on those more complex things, like working on social anxiety, working on going to the gym, whatever it may be, then we're slowly but surely working towards the goal of ending up in a relationship and ending up happy. I think that a lot of people are very quick to be like, the relationship is going to solve the issues. It's not going to solve the issues. That's a major thing that I think for some reason we harp on as a society. We think, hey, we need to get into relationships. We need to be in a relationship. No, you fucking don't, dude. And sometimes you're not fucking ready for it. And I kind of felt the same way when I was a freshman, man. When I was a freshman in college, I was trying to date all kinds of people. My life was a fucking wreck. It didn't work out because my life was a wreck. I met awesome people, but guess what? I was a piece of shit. I had a fucking messy room. I wasn't doing well mentally. I wasn't taking care of myself properly. And I spent that semester working on those things. I spent a semester working on myself, building up my confidence, building up my social anxiety, or while working on my social anxiety. I did these things, and then when that was all said and done, next semester, I met somebody amazing. We've been together for almost 2 years now. That is something that I think is really important, is that before you want to look for somebody else to help fill your life, you need to fill your own life. That's a big issue that I see, is that people think, oh, I get the relationship and things are good now. No, because guess what? If you are struggling with anxiety, you're struggling with depression, you're struggling with these things, you're going to drag it into your relationship, and it's going to bog down your relationship. It's okay to bring in some of these things into a relationship, but if we don't know any of these skills, any of these techniques to work on it throughout a relationship, the relationship isn't going to work. The other person is going to feel like they are simply there to help you, that they're supposed to be this caregiver type role, and that's not what they're meant to be. They're meant to be somebody to help you, guide you through life, of course, but they're not meant there to sort of drag you through it, and I think that's what a lot of people misconstrue. First step, get your life in order is what I would suggest. Once again, just start with the small things, cleaning your room, cleaning your bathroom, whatever it may be. Just work on these small things, work on hygiene, and then work on going to the gym, work on cooking, work on these things that are more complex. Because each week that you do something, it gets easier and easier and easier. And once you keep working on it, you're going to lead into the point where you're going to feel it, where you're sort of like, wow, okay, I am ready for a relationship. I am ready to add somebody to my life that is going to bring in a big impact on my life in a positive way. And in a sense that you're not going to, I don't want to say bog down, but that you're not going to impede on the relationship with any issues that you are going through or struggling with at the time. You're going to be able to sort of work through it together, that you're making she or he feel like that they need to be there to help you or get through whatever you're going through. That's not what a partner is meant to be. I've been cheating on my girlfriend now for a couple months. I don't know what to do. I feel pretty shitty about it, but I don't want to tell her. She has no idea. I still love her a lot, but I feel like I'm breaking her trust and hurting her in the long run. What should I do? Welp, immediately I'm going to tell you to tell her, you need to be honest, brother. And I'm going to be also honest here and say that this might be the end of your relationship. Doesn't matter if you're honest. That's a big trust that you're breaking there. You're breaking a lot of trust in a lot of senses. You're breaking your trust with her. It's going to hurt her in the long run. You've already been hurting her, and you've just been delaying that. Yeah, I think that you need to tell her immediately for several different reasons. You're still hurting her. She just doesn't know that she's going to be hurt yet, is sort of the major thing that I want to remind you of, is that she is going to be hurt. And like I said, it's probably going to be the end of your relationship. And I think also consequences of actions is a major thing that I always talk about. Is sometimes you don't like it, but there is always going to be some sort of consequences for whatever you do in your life. If you fucking eat nothing but goddamn potato chips, you're probably going to feel like shit. If you cheat on your girlfriend, she's probably going to break up with you and hate you. And I am sorry to say it, brother, but yeah, you need to tell her. I don't think that it's a good thing to hide it either, especially if you're like, okay, I'm going to work on this. I'm done cheating. But then you're still not going to tell her. I don't know. That's my opinion. And then also here, I want to mention too, yeah, you should tell her, because you could be spreading STDs, and that is not a good thing. And she'll find out, and that's a lot worse of a conversation to have of why do I have the clap than, hey, I'm really sorry, I need to be honest, but I've been cheating on you. Yeah, no, you do need to tell her immediately. Learn from it. We've all made mistakes, man. We've all made mistakes in some sort of way in our relationships that have ended relationships. And this one's a bad one, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to follow you for the rest of your life. Is that, you know, you're going to need to understand that this is going to impact this relationship, and to understand what you need to work on so that it doesn't happen again in a future relationship is kind of a big thing that I want to tell you. Is like, yeah, it's going to suck. You know, you're going to feel like shit for a long time, and rightfully so. You know, you broke one of the most sacred things about a relationship. That's going to be indented forever. But I do feel that you knowing that it's wrong is an important step. I do want to be honest with you there, is that a lot of men don't see it as this thing where they don't necessarily feel bad right away. And I want to say good on you for realizing that, hey, this is a bad thing that I did. But that doesn't mean giving you an out. You still need to fix things. Like seriously, you do need to fix things. I trust you to fix things. And so, yeah, you need to tell her, be honest with her, and look at yourself too. Don't get into a relationship right away. Spend some time, you know, what caused you to do this? For a while there, you thought it was fine, and now you feel like shit about it. So that's my major thing that I want you to take away, is that, yeah, it sucks what's going to happen when you tell her, but use it as sort of a learning experience, I guess, and understand what you can do better in your next relationship moving forward. What can I do to still be a good partner to my future partners in my next relationships? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. I know that today was a bit longer, and I just like to every once in a while sit down and make one that's a little longer for you guys. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for the support on all the videos lately. We really appreciate it. And I know that I said it last week, but I want to say once again that I am thankful for you guys a lot. I know that it's the holidays right now, so I feel like I can really say it. But thank you guys sincerely for everything that you've given us. And I don't know where I would be without you, but I know that I wouldn't be sitting here right now. Thank you guys so much for always being here, and thank you for always being so understanding when things go on in my life. And once again, if you have any questions or you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments. If you also would like, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a single video that we post. It's free. It's all that great stuff. And also, this video is sponsored by W Energy. You can use code Sigma934 for 10% off of anything on the website. You can also use the link in the description to get 10% off of everything on the website. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and peace.